What's up everybody, welcome to the Life of a Board Gamer. My name is Daniel and today we are going to talk about Emerge, a new Pandasaurus game about islands showing up and you are introducing animals to that island or they are introduced by themselves. I'm not that good with explaining the story behind the game, but in essence, there's islands showing up, there's some animals going to be over there, and by the end of the game, who has the most points is the winner. So that's a short version. Now for the big version, let me show you what you get inside the box and let me tell you, while I show you what's inside the box, what I think about the game. So the rulebook itself, it's pretty nice, self-explanatory. Everything is like lots of big pictures, big text. So the game is pretty simple, pretty easy to understand, has some really nice, cool mechanics which I really like. So each of the players will get one of these boards, and at the start of the turn you will roll some of your dice, and depending which numbers you get you will put them over here, and then you will spend those dice if you are able to activate one of these abilities, and of course they will change throughout the game itself. So we'll talk about it a little bit later. So you get a huge board that opens just like one straight line board. It's real, doesn't even fit on the camera, so I have to like show it you like this, but it's a really nice long board, and on these spots islands will be popping up, and as you can see you will start over here, and by the end of the round 8, once you come over here, there's going to be all islands over here with all kinds of different animals, and then you will score, and whoever has the most points is the winner. So these are the islands that I was talking about. So each of the players will get 4 islands, the big ones. You put these first, and then you put the smaller ones on top of them. So this basically acts as a multiplier. So anything you have here is multiplied by 1 if you have 1 island, multiplied by 2, or multiplied by 3 if you put the 3rd island on it, which is really nice way to introduce like a little 3D element to the board. And it's easy to understand how big your island is, how are you going to count your points by the end of the game. Also what you get in this game are these tokens. So these will be, some of them will start on the board face down like this, and then you will flip them up once they are discovered. You can take these, and basically they tell you to refresh all your modifier tiles, because these tiles will modify things throughout the game, or they tell you when you place a 4-3 on an island, you can grow that island by 1. So that's really cool. They will just give you some really cool benefits, and you will get these throughout the game, and they are really essential to the game. You really need to go for those. So yeah, each of the player will get some of the dice in their preferred color. There's no blue color, so there's kind of, this one is like closest to the blue. So yeah, as I said, you will roll these dice and you will put them on this board. And once you put them on the board, let's talk about that later. First, let me tell you what you also get in here. So you'll get a bunch of trees that you will populate your island with. So you can have up to 4 trees on your island, and you can have one of each animal on your island, and you have to put them in order. So the crabs need to come first to the island, then the turtles, then the seals, and these are really nicely done little miniatures. There's also some parrots, seagulls that will fly from island to island. They can bring you new trees to the island. That's one way to get trees, or by playing the dice. And you can take these because those birds will be also scoring at the end of the game. You will be scoring for those birds, so you really want them to be on your islands when the game ends. So yeah, you will also have these cards. These are like goals that you need to achieve. The first one to achieve it gets the most victory points from it. Everyone can achieve it, of course, but if you are the last, you will get the least amount of points. And they are really cool and a nice way of getting points. But the most points you will get from islands, growing them, putting animals on them, because the level of the island times the things you have on the island is how you're going to score. But the best thing about this game are these tiles, because these tiles correspond, and now let's talk about this board. Now these tiles correspond to the tiles on the board over here. So if you throw ones, you can spend those ones to, let's say, build trees. So first tree on an island. So if you have an island somewhere on the board and you want to put a first tree, let me just quickly show you how it works. If you want to put a first tree on that island, you need to pay 1 dice from over here. And if you were lucky enough to roll, let's say, for example, let me just quickly put some dice over here just to represent. Let's say, for example, you were lucky enough to roll something like this. So now you can put a tree over here and you can pay it with 1 dice, and you, because this is your first tree, it costs 1 dice. If you want to put a second tree over here on this island, you need to pay 2 dice, and you have 2 dice, and that's really awesome. And now you have these tiles over here. Now these tiles, they also have some special abilities that you can use one time before you reset for the next round. But what can you do? For example, you can't have seals in the first few turns, because first you need to have crabs, then turtle needs to come to the island, then a seal can come. So you can easily cover this one. And now if you, for example, let's say rolled like something like this, let's say you have a 4 and you have a 4, and let's say you have a 1, and over here it's like a 6 and a 6. Let's say it's something like this. Okay, fine, nothing spectacular. You roll something like this, and let's say, for example, you also have an island with 2 trees, and you want to put a third tree which requires 3 dice. And this is the only way that you can put the third tree over here. The island can have 4 trees, but only birds can bring you the fourth tree on the island, so have that in mind. But yeah, now, for example, these 2 are count for building trees. So now you can spend dice from here and dice from here, because now this is a tree action, not a seal action. And at any time throughout the game, you can move this or you can remove it, you can add new ones, stuff like that. But yeah, for now, let's say, for example, I want to put another 3 over here. That means because it's a third 3, I need to give 3 dice. I have 1 over here, I have 2 over here, because this is also a tree, and I give 3 dice and I put another tree. And that's really what's awesome about this game, how you manipulate these things. And as I said, there's action for each of these, and you really want to put these on a board. You can even cover the space that they are representing. No worries there, because they have some really cool special abilities. For example, this one says that you can add 1 or 2 to a die, so you can turn a 1 into a 3, and maybe another turtle will arrive, something like that. I absolutely love how these work, and the way that you can like cover some different action that you know you don't need at first, like seals and stuff like that, and like maybe birds you don't need at the beginning, but you want to like build your islands, so you can put like for example 2 islands, and I just took an island over here. Let's say, for example, you cover turtles and seals, because at the start of the game it's really hard to get to the turtles and seals right from the start. So now you want like maybe you can bring a lot of island into play for you, and then you can populate them with different animals, and as I said, all of them have some really cool special abilities. You can add dice, you can re-roll some dice, you can re-roll all dice with the same number, stuff like that, and manipulating those dice in your favor is something that I really liked about Emerge. It's a really fun game of dice manipulation and actions, and I don't know, I just loved every little bit of it. It's really weird game. I don't know if I played something like this. I mean, I played games where you manipulate dice, but I don't know, this just feels unique, feels different, and scoring is pretty simple. It's pretty easy to understand how you're gonna score, what you're gonna score, and sometimes you want to like really push into like building one big island with everything on it, because you can then get maximum points from it. And as I said, it's really nice that you need to arrive to get animals in a certain way. So sometimes some of these tiles with abilities will give you like, okay, so now you can, instead of giving 2 dice for a crab, you can give 3 dice and get 2 crabs. So you get 2 crabs to 2 different islands. And then the bird brings the 4th tree to an island, and now you can score like a bazillion points. Just manipulating with these tiles, manipulating your dice, what they're doing is just feels so satisfying and so wonderful. I really, I'm just, I'm really surprised how much I like this game. When I saw the game, I really wanted to check it out. It sounded interesting, but I didn't expect like to be this fun for me. And it's a quick game, it's a fast game, it's an easy game to understand. So this is, I would not say it's a filler game, but it kind of almost feels like that. Because of the simplicity of actions, everything is really nicely laid out. You understand everything what it does. Even when I explain the rules, they are also written on the board itself, because you know you have to have 2 dice to put the crab, 3 dice for the turtle, or 4 dice for the seal. Of course, that can be changed by some of these tokens that I can't take out right now. For example, this one. This one says when you steal a bird, that means when you take a bird from another player island, because they start on a neutral land and then they move from island to island. And if they're on an island of your opponent and you move it onto your island, this one says when you steal a bird, place 2 trees on the island that it lands on instead of 1. You know, so you put the 2 trees. So maybe you have 2 trees on an island and now you have 4. You maxed out trees on that island. Such an easy way. So yeah, all of that combined works wonderful. Emerge, you definitely need to check out. It's a wonderful game, almost a filler, I would say, but not. So yeah, check it out. It's really cool game. It's really fun. It's really interesting. That's all I have to say about it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for spending time with me. If you're not subscribed, do consider subscribing or consider supporting me on Patreon. Helps out greatly, because everything I earn over there, I just pour back into the channel in the better equipment, better studio, better channel. So by supporting me, you get better videos. What more can you ask for? So yeah, that is all. Thank you all for watching, and until next time. Pozdrav.